Ooh, 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Oh my God.
Let's go. Five. Whew. Come on. Yep. Come on, let's go. Last one. Let's go. Last one. Come on. Finish. Five. Finish. Yep. Oh. Let's go. Let's go. Last one. Finish. One. Oh. Oh, come on, 5, 1, all right. All right, just wrapped up a really good delt day. I really like to throw delt-ins right after a chest or a kind of a shoulder pressing day. What a great way to not only hit the delts, but also incorporate some recovery workout into the mix. Again, throwing in delts after a pressing day, whether it's chest or shoulders or what have you, is a great way to help kind of the shoulder and everything involved kind of recover from the pressing movements from the day before. And then at the same time, of course, we're working those delts. So overall, solid day today. Really pleased with it. A lot of volume, a lot of sets, a lot of reps. Got a lot of blood in the muscle. My shoulders, my delts, they feel absolutely great. And like I said, again, it's a great way for me to add somewhat of a delt workout, but also a recovery workout into the mix following a pressing day. So just a great day overall. So I want to jump into some questions and comments that came in on yesterday's video, which was day 179. It was a chest video, chest day. And so we're going to hit some questions and comments in there and just kind of take it from there. So let's jump into it right now. Got our first one coming in from Joe Calero, 2563. Joe, what's going on, man? I'm loving it, Joe. Joe literally is blood and guts 2.0 through and through. Just constantly involved, constantly doing his own thing, and definitely a huge involvement on the channel. So shout out to you, Joe. And just really living the blood and guts 2.0 way. Says 1:43 a.m., 2:15:24. Legs and cardio, BG style, #finish. 1:43 a.m., blood and guts 2.0 style. Joe, killing it out there. Seeing your comments every day. Just hearing, all the motivation and everything. You're obviously killing it out there. So keep killing it. Keep going. Truly appreciate your comments on the channel. Got another one here from SOCIR6IM. Said, somebody mentioned elbow tendonitis. I just wanted to mention, if they end up seeing this, to give band push downs a try. I had horrible elbows, 54 years old. And once I started doing these almost every day, but at least 4 to 5 days a week, doing 2 to 3 sets of 30-40 reps. There's plenty of methods, but this is just one that's been good for me. Great feedback. I talked a little bit about in yesterday's video. Someone commented about some tendonitis, and this kind of definitely goes off of some of the feedback I provided yesterday on that comment. I love the idea of banded pushdowns. I love incorporating them into the mix of the rotation, specifically for triceps. But a great way, like this comment just said, to get some blood in the muscle, get some blood in the area when we're talking about elbow tendonitis or arm tendonitis. Just a great way to hit some reps. Definitely could not agree more. It's a great method. I definitely agree and utilize the same type of concept. So shout out to that and awesome feedback. Got one here from Peter Miller. Another one, Peter Miller, OG of the BG crew, literally commenting all the time, sending his inspiration, motivation, some of the most amazing comments that I've seen, extremely well written, thought out, philosophical. I love getting deep into, the thought process behind both the old school mentality, training mentality, modalities, all that kind of stuff. And Peter Miller, being an OG of the BG crew for sure, is always chiming in and providing some awesome feedback and some motivation to the crew. So shout out to Peter Miller, and just says here, hey BG, no shortage of volume or intensity in this chest workout. Another old school beast mode day of training in the life of Blood and Guts 2.0. Much respect. Much respect back to you, Peter Miller. Appreciate all your comments on the channel. Got one here from Outlaw Josie Wales, another OG of the BG crew. Outlaw, man, shout out to you just in general. Outlaw says the boy has tractor power. You know what, Outlaw? The BG crew, man, we are rolling. We are literally going to impact the world with again the philosophies of the old school training. It's not just about the training, right? It's not just about the training. It's about pushing yourself, working hard both in the gym and taking those characteristics, taking those lessons that you learn from this old school way, bars, plates, and dumbbells, and adapting that to real life, adapting that to how you live in real life. Taking that hard work, that mentality, that passion, that love, that drive, choosing to work with free weights rather than machines, builds character, builds a different character, and taking those characteristics that you learn from that. Again, you've heard me talk about the characteristics that are made from lifting this old school way and then applying them into real life, right? So again, I'm going on a little bit of a rant, little off track of the comment, but every time Outlaw Josie Will comments on the channel, it's just some awesome stuff. So shout out to you and appreciate the comments as always. Another one here from Luke Mikib 4619, Unreal Size, smashing it, brother. Greetings from Ireland. Luke, I know you comment on the channel quite a bit as well. OG of the BG crew, shout out to you, shout out to Ireland. Thank you for the comments, and just really, really appreciate it. And sorry if I butchered the handle a little bit. My apologies. Got another one coming. It's just amazing. Another OG of the BG crew, Dave Kinderdine. Chest or shoulders has got to be my best training day. Pressing builds power. Dave, old school mentality, absolutely, you know it. Pressing using bars, dumbbells. Again, there's no better way to press, build up muscle, build up foundation, and build up those real life characteristics, those really a true foundation to your training than pressing movements. Absolutely. So shout out to Dave Kinderdine. Always appreciate the comments on the channel. Dave, definitely an OG of the BG crew. Loving it. Got another one here from Daniel Andrus 2637. Another OG of the BG crew. There is a crap ton of research about the use of machines and increased injury. Listen, you could get injured any way. I talk about, again, I talk about a lot of this. I would say a huge portion of this is whether it's machines or free weights, and we talk about the physiology, right? I'm talking about the psychology, the mental part of all of this. You could get hurt, absolutely. Could not agree more. You can get hurt at any moment, at any time. Again, that's part of the risk. That's part of, again, building this scarring mindset. These really strong characteristics, these values, these personal values, is really about, again, knowing the risk, right? Knowing the risk going into this. And again, like I've always said, you're going to have more risk with the harder you work. And the harder you choose to train, the more risk you're going to have at anything, of getting hurt. It doesn't matter. But that's what builds character. That's what builds this drive, this ability to overcome fear, this ability to be willing to take risks. Whether when safety is at a high point, and where again you're second guessing yourself, or you're preparing yourself to do something, whether it's picking up a deadlift, or squatting a huge weight, or bench pressing a number that you never benched before. You understand the risk. You're willing to surpass the fear. You're willing to put yourself in that moment and do it, right? So again, getting off on a little tangent, but this is where whenever I hear about machines and this kind of comparison between free weights and machines, I'm really talking about the overall growth, both personally, interpersonally, professionally. Again, how we carry ourselves, the characteristics that are developed. And I am a firm and true believer in the fact that barbells, dumbbells, plates, the free weight, the old school way is going to build a much stronger character than machines will any day. And again, I use the free weights and the machines just as a representation of how to build character. You are not going to build the same character, the same drive, the same mentality. You're not going to trigger the same internal instincts, right? You're not going to trigger the natural instincts, as you would comparing a machine to free weights. Free weights will, again, surpass a machine both mentally and physically any day of the week. You could get injured on both, absolutely, but the reality is that the risk is much greater on free weights, but that's what builds character. That's what builds character. That's what I'm talking about. When I go into the spiels about Sam Sulek and I talk about, all the bodybuilders today and the overuse of machines, what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the movement. Listen, Derek Lunsford has built an Olympian style physique, and you cannot take that away from him. I'm talking about the principles behind it. I'm talking about working hard first to get to a certain level. You're not going to get to certain levels if you don't put the time in, if you don't build the foundation. You can't just jump on PEDs because everybody else is doing it. You can't just use machines because everybody else is doing it, and you look at Derek Lunsford or Sam Sulek's physique and think that machines are going to do that. Especially if you're going to go into this world naturally. If you're going to go into this and choose to do this and stand by being a natural lifter, and I have nothing against people that use performance enhancement. There are many people on steroids who truly respect the iron and who have put the work in, who put the time in, who have built a solid foundation, and then they make that choice. They make a personal choice to do that. I have no disrespect to that. I have no disrespect to that. I have all the respect in the world for some of those. What I'm saying, though, is if you're going to choose to build that solid, raw foundation, that solid, raw, natural foundation, you have to start with free weights. You're not going to, if you think that you're going to do, here's another thing too, if you think you're going to build like real, genuine, hardcore mass, being natural, without using free weights, you got another thing coming. It's not going to work. It won't work. It won't. You will not build the mass that you need to build naturally if you just use machines. It won't happen. Again, there's the internal instincts. There's everything that happens when you put yourself at risk, when you build a foundation by using free weights. There's so much that happens in that process that you're missing out on when you just look for the easiest way to do things. When you look for just getting on PEDs and then going to the gym and using, cable flies. Again, that is not going to work, especially if you want to go natural. If you want to, you better build a solid foundation of free weights, of barbells, of bench press, squat, deadlift, military press. bent over barbell rows, dumbbell rows, T-bar rows. The list goes on and on and on. You want to build that solid foundation using free weights. That's how this works. That's how this works. That's how you build the foundation. Again, I'm going off on a major rant here, and I can't help myself. And I mean, I'm just reading a comment from Daniel, who's an OG of the BG crew, and I'm just getting to that point again. Again, we are going to spread this message, and again, especially for our younger generation, who are just literally taking the easiest route out, and that's what they're doing. They're taking the easiest way, and it's not only affecting the way people train, but then in the large scheme of things, it's affecting society. We think that everything is handed to us. We think that everybody gets a participation award. You don't get a participation award. Listen, I love my son and daughter I love them to death. But if they suck, bench them. If they're not contributing either mentally or physically to the team, then bench them. I love them to death, but the reality is if it's not about participation awards. It's not about everybody, gets a trophy. You know what I mean? It's like we want to make college now free for everybody. Are you crazy? We're gonna make college a glorified high school? What are you, crazy? College now becomes a glorified... I busted my ass in college for 7 years, worked on a bachelor's degree and 2 master's degrees. 7.5 years. Busted, working full time, going to school, doing life, training, and then all of a sudden, you have to acquire debt before you get credit. And that's the same thing in training. You have to put your work in. You have to have debt before you actually get credit in this world. Right? I mean, that's just the reality of it. Everything's being handed to the new generation now. Just like machines are handing them everything. They're not willing to go in the gym and put the hard work in. Everything is being handed to the new generation. Now they want to make college a glorified high school. What's the point? No, competition's gone now. It's gone. It's gone. Everybody now is going to have a college degree. What does that do? Nothing. That makes no competition. That makes no competitive jobs. That again then takes away from the human value of characteristics in order to be elite, to be alpha, to be strong, to have these characteristics, right? So again, I'm going on another rant, but this is important stuff. It's not just about the old school style of training. It's not just about that. It's about the characteristics and the values and the life lessons you learn by working hard first, building a foundation first, choosing to put a barbell on your back rather than going in a Smith machine and having the work done for you. You have to do the work. You have to be put in debt before you get any credit in this world. And that's the reality, right? So again, I'm going on this tangent, but I can't help myself. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's not about a participation award. Not everybody gets a trophy. Not everybody gets to be Sam Sulik. Not everybody gets to be Derek Lunsford. And if you want to get at any level in your life for yourself, you have to put the foundation. You have to put the work in. It's incredible. That's what this is all about. That's what I'm talking about. When I go on these rants, that is what I'm talking about. God, it's crazy. Society is absolutely mind-boggling, and it's regressing every single day because nobody wants to put the time in. Everybody wants everything handed to them. And I use machines compared to free weights. Machines they're handed to you to do the work for you. It's not about what Derek Lunsford. It is and it isn't. Again, it's so much more. I'm gonna stop. I gotta move on through some of these comments, but I had to run on that. I can't help myself. Daniel Andrews, OG of the BG crew, shout out to you. Sorry, that's right. I just went at it. Got another comment here from Outsider DF. This was I mentioned I kind of went on a mini rant, whatever you want to call it, yesterday in response to Outsider. He responded back, it looks like. And I just want to say to Outsider, I know he's been commenting a few things and is very strong in his opinions, it appears, which is great. He's commented on several videos, and again, everybody has a right to their own opinion. I love the fact that he starts this out with, in my opinion. It says, all depends on how much you want to isolate and being smart about exercise effectiveness. Also depends on your goals. Think you've said it. This is more than just bodybuilding for you, correct? I think that's where the difference lies in opinion. Absolute. Listen, this is what this is all about. Now we're in a professional, healthy debate. We have opinions, and you just heard me rant. There it is. I mean, I'm probably gonna say the same things as I read through this comment, just like I just said. So I'm gonna hold back on that and just finish the comment here. But again, here we are having a professional, healthy debate, and a huge shout out to Outsider and respect for that. The whole Smith machine thing, I agree with. It is certainly easier in terms of weight you can use. Generally, you can load the Smith machine more than a barbell, but weight is just one component. You also have intensity. It's not easy to go all out on a machine. So again, truly respect the response back. Really, really great to have a very healthy debate on this stuff. Again, if you heard what I said, and you heard a little bit about what I said yesterday, and you just heard what I just kind of went on a rant about now, absolutely. Again, it's much more, and I think what people are kind of looking at just the actual training, and sometimes maybe I don't explain this enough in some of my comments or my responses when I do a video. Is everything I'm talking about when I compare machines to body or to old school free weights is I'm comparing the characteristics and how much the generations have changed. And again, machines, the overuse of machines, not saying they don't have their purpose, not saying you can't get a pump, not saying you can't build muscle using machines, okay? I understand you can. I understand you can. I get that. I choose free weights. I choose the old school. I choose everything that comes with free weights. I will choose that over a machine any day. What I'm saying is that the machine, in a much larger picture, from a philosophical and deeper kind of look into this, machines represent where we are as society. Machines represent the easy, the handouts, the participation awards, the glorified colleges, everything involved. Machines are a clear represented when we compare the training world to real life. The overuse of machines is a perfect, clear representation of where we are in society, metaphorically. That's what I'm talking about. So I appreciate your comment back, and definitely appreciate it. Got another one here from Daniel Allman, 4760, strong as a bull. Shout out to you. Got another one here from John Petricino. Sorry if I butchered that. 9416. For training by yourself, you continue to push hard. Great mental toughness. Shout out. Appreciate that. Got one here from JYY5RP. What is the purpose of incline dumbbell press, one arm at a time? It really kind of isolates the movement. It's a huge switch, right? Remember, we talked about shocking the body. As soon as the body is used to utilizing two dumbbells, your traditional incline dumbbell or flat bench dumbbell press, and you switch it up to a single arm, you're shocking the body. So you're hitting, different parts of the central nervous system. You're hitting parts of, different muscle groups. So it's a shock to the body, number one. I also really like it the way it isolates, and also the ability for stabilizer muscles, including your core, to activate. It's almost in that movement, you're activating like this diagonal kind of feel rather than this kind of straight feel. So you're kind of pushing like this because your core is activated to stabilize. And it just adds a different feel into the muscle rather than your vertical kind of push, right? So you're kind of leaned, you're using this kind of diagonal motion within the core activation into the muscle. So that's what I really like about it. And again, isolation. Also, it's a great way if you have weak points, you have a weaker side, you can really isolate and strengthen that side up and really focus on that side that may be weaker by doing the single arm. So that's my part of that. Got another one here from C24 Brandon. In regards to the old school versus how Derek, Nick, etc. train, you, me, and whoever could take what they're doing, eat how they're doing, regardless of using machines or free weights, aren't going to look any close to them. Most new machines like Prime, Arsenal, and Atlantis aren't that easy, and the new equipment specifically targets certain muscle groups for specific things. with how experienced the Olympia guys are, if strictly using free weights work better, was superior for result, they'd be doing that solely and avoiding the new machines. Like you, I enjoy free weights, etc. But if the prime Arsenal, etc. machines get good results, isolate the muscle you're training, and are less likely to cause injury when they're going for how they look, and strength is irrelevant like it is in bodybuilding. It doesn't make sense for them to take more risks just using free weights / old school exercises. Again, their genetics are better than 99% of the people who train. Most people, even with PEDs, will never look even close to them. And most people can't / won't follow a specific diet as strictly as they do, etc. Same goes for professional strongmen and powerlifters. Most people, regardless of what they do or take, will never be as strong, etc., as they are. End of the day, if you're lifting as a hobby and just general fitness, got to train however you enjoy and get results you are personally looking for. I agree, and again, like I said, this is much more. I really want this to the word about this and the way that I spreading this kind of like my rants and whatnot is really on, again, the principles and the philosophies and the characteristics of really affecting our newer generation, and how, again, the difference between the machines and free weights and how that kind of characterizes people outside of the gym. So I agree. You heard my rant. I'm not going to get much more into that, Brandon. Definitely an OG of a BG crew. I definitely respect all your comments. Well said. But again, you're kind of specifically talking about the training specifically, where I'm really talking about the training, yes, but also the philosophy and the philosophical, the deeper look into how those characteristics are carried outside in real life using the machines. I had to switch over. My other camera battery died, so I had to switch cameras. Just kind of, again, going back to Brandon, again, like I said, I'm always talking about the much more kind of philosophical, deeper look into all of this and how it's really kind of affected, things in general. So either way, I as always, respect, and again, Brandon, definitely a OG, the BG crew. Love all your comments and stuff. So definitely shout out to you. Appreciate that. And here's another one from Brandon. Hashtag Pumptown, hashtag Swole City. Just hit shoulders, traps, and tries myself. Keep killing it as always. Brandon, you too, man. Keep smashing it. Keep killing it. Got one here from Joe Calero, 2563. BG crew for life. Keep clanging and banging, BG. Killer chest workout. Shout out to you, Joe. Appreciate that. Got one here from Medium X3241. Was going to do just cardio today, but at the gym, I thought, hell, why not hit chest too? And so I did. Felt great going with my feeling and not stick with 100% to my usual split. Yeah, shout out to you. Yeah, this instinctive training split. Sometimes just go on a whim. If you're feeling it, get after it. Maybe even, I love the fact that, you did cardio, and then I think it's awesome if you, maybe you're like, you drive to the gym and your whole thought is like, I'm going to do shoulders today. Then you get to the gym and you're like, you end up doing arms or triceps. Like, I think that shock to the mind and the body, like, has its purpose as well. So it's like, you did cardio and your mindset wasn't even thinking about chest. And then all of a sudden you do chest. I think there's a mental part of making that decision, like that instinctive thought, which a lot of my training throughout this No Days Off has really been put on, is this instinctive training split. We're essentially just training the muscles that are ready, kind of going on a whim, figuring out when I get down here what I'm going to do. So definitely shout out to that, and glad you smashed it. Got another one here from Vlad3387. Do you really need this amount of exercises to do muscle gains? Find too much for a natural person. Again, here's you have to do what works for you. Again, this is here's another issue with what's kind of social media and all the influencers, online coaches, and all that has really done, is that here's a perfect example of a comment of where, like, your assumptions are a perfect example of, like, where your mindset is. Stop looking at what other people do and think it either works best for you, or stop giving people advice thinking that you kind of understand their physiology and what works best for them. So here's a perfect example how social media construes someone mindset into thinking like, why are you doing so much volume? I was told that that's way too much. Or I think that that's way too much. Well, this person is only doing this, so why would he be doing so much volume? That's way too much. Again, that volume, it wasn't even close to what I love to do. I would love to do more. And I feel great. It works extremely well for me. I'm not, again, as I said, I'm training because I love to train. I'm training because I want to push myself. I want to find different parts of the mind. I want to tap into places I've never even been before. So I'm going to push myself to those limits. And if more volume is needed to do that, again, this isn't traditional bodybuilding. I'm not having a coach tell me how much volume is or what's best for me. I'm not being influenced by, how many sets that, Sam Sulik does, or wow, Derek Lunsford is only doing 8 reps and 5 sets. Why the heck is this guy doing, 8 sets and 20 reps? Because that's what works for me. Again, here's a perfect example of how people are getting getting the wrong advice and then applying it and giving advice to other people. You got to do what works best for you. And again, the volume is a very subjective assumption, very subjective. Volume for one person may not be the volume for another, but I've figured it out, works for me, and you got to keep figuring out what works best for you. I would really put more time into this. And really push yourself to do what works best for you and stop listening to other people and then giving the wrong advice to people. So either way, shout out to you and appreciate the comment. Another one here from David Garza. 4414. Do you have rest days? Right now I'm in no days off. No rest days at the moment. Feeling great. Not sure what the future will bring. Again, that doesn't mean I'm against rest. I get the importance of rest. I understand the so-called science behind it. Again, if you just heard me kind of respond to the last comment, you have to do what works best for you. I'm not going to rest because everybody else thinks I rest. So right now, no, there are no rest days. But appreciate your comment / question. And then the last one here from Matthew Strength with emojis. So I'm going to wrap up there. We will see you guys for the next lift. Sorry, I ranted a little bit again, but I just can't help myself sometimes. Truly appreciate all of you, the BG crew, all the OGs on the channel. The channel continues to grow every single day. We're just spreading, and obviously there's a calling. And people who get it will get it. People who don't. But either way, much respect to everybody. So we'll see you guys for the next lift.